So it is time now for the predictions for the very first two-night event that is not WrestleMania, with SummerSlam Night 1. As you can see, it is being touted that Gunther and CM Punk will main event Night 1 for the World Heavyweight Championship, and we'll go through each match individually, of course, as well. If you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel. Some of you might be interested in Scottish football, of course. If you're American, it might not be the case. There is other wrestling content on the channel as well, though, and I'll also be doing the predictions for SummerSlam Night 2, and I'll be reacting to both nights as well, too. So if you wouldn't mind clicking that subscribe button and the like button, that would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get on to the predictions for Night 1 of SummerSlam. So we're just going to go in order of what the matches are on screen in front of us. So the first match on screen is Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez representing Judgment Day against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair for the women's tag team titles. The way they've been building Alexa and Charlotte, I do think that it wouldn't make any sense not to put them over in this match. I think they are going to have to win this match. Even if the Judgment Day got involved, I still think that they'll be coming away with the win. I just can't see any other scenario in which that doesn't happen. The crowd are on board with Alexa and Charlotte as a partnership as well, so I think that will help them pull the trigger. So I don't see why, as I said, that they wouldn't put them on them, so I'm going to go for Alexa and Charlotte to win the Women's Tag Team Championships tonight at SummerSlam. I know I said I'm going to go in order, but I think I'm going to leave the next match until the end. So, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. The match, of course, was potentially in jeopardy when Drew couldn't get out of the UK. But we've got it all sorted, and they had a bit of a scrap on SmackDown last night as well. Everybody's interested to see how Jelly Roll is going to get on in the ring. He's, of course, not as agile as the likes of a Logan Paul or a Bad Bunny in terms of celebrity wrestlers, so he'll be more of a powerhouse type wrestler, you would imagine. I think putting him in a tag match is kind of the standard for a first match for a celebrity most of the time. Logan Paul debuted in a tag match, Bad Bunny debuted in a tag match, and now we've got Jelly Roll debuting in a tag match, which can help carry him, if you like. I don't see them having Jelly Roll lose his first match. I think I've seen online as well that they're planning on having him wrestle more. So I think we will have Jelly Roll and Randy Orton going over here. So Randy Orton and Jelly Roll to defeat Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I mean, this one could go either way, I think. You want to establish Breaker and Reed in Seth's group as this new dominant force, then it would probably make sense for them to go over. But we are talking about Roman Reigns here. So, and of course, Jey Uso is also high up on the card as well. So this one really could go either way, but I think it would make more sense for Breaker and Reed to go over here unless you're already planning on putting spanners in the works with the group. So I do think that Breaker and Reed are going over against Reigns and Uso. Reigns to take the pin? Absolutely not. It will be Jey Uso taking the pin. But I won't be surprised if this goes the other way with Roman Reigns winning the match for his team. On to the Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. With Naomi cashing in for the world title, people kind of thought this was going to be where she would cash in, and she would cash in on Jade because of the way that whole feud's been going. That's not the case now. Potentially, you could be building up to a Survivor Series match, champion versus champion. They like to do that from the different brands. So with that in mind, I'm going to say that this is going to be the end of Tiffany Stratton's reign as women's champion, and they're going to put it on Jade Cargill, with the potential of having Jade versus Naomi for the world at Survivor Series champion versus champion, or at a Saudi show champion versus champion. Of course, they did that last year as well. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Probably no disrespect to either of them, but the least interesting match on the card, I would say. Obviously Karrion Kross has done well to get himself over with the IWC a little bit and getting a bit of backing on that front, but I can't you know, I can't say that I'm overly excited for this match, to be honest. But I do think that Karrion Kross will go over for the reasons stated as well. Don't think it's going to be too much of a barnstorming match or anything like that. I think we'll see Karrion Kross go over. Pretty simple. This might even be one of the earlier matches on the card. And back up to the top in the second place spot, the main event, Gunther versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think this can go one of two ways, really. CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's that. Or CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship, and we do see Seth cash in, and the whole knee injury thing not as bad as we all thought it was, or he cashes in thanks to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker laying CM Punk out, and then he comes out and just pins him, and then you don't have him wrestle for a while. There is obviously the rumours that Seth is cashing in. And the whole, as long as I'm... Drew McIntyre potentially could get involved as well. Remember, as long as I'm breathing, you'll not be a champion in WWE, that sort of thing to each other. But I'm going to go for CM Punk to go over regardless. Whether or not the finish is screwy in the end and he does lose the championship, I don't know. But I think, you know, he's been back long enough and hasn't been given a world title yet. Not that he needs one, but I do think they'll put it on him because they want to build to a world title feud with Punk and whoever going forward, really. Potentially Seth when he does get back. Drew could be put back in the world title picture, that sort of thing. But I'm going to go for CM Punk to be going over on night one of SummerSlam. So that's going to do it for the predictions for the first night of SummerSlam. Obviously, as I said, I'll be watching it tonight and doing a reaction. Whether I do a reaction immediately after the show finishes or go to sleep first, because again, being in the UK, you've got to stay up late for these events. We shall see. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Of course, this is just my opinion. It's not the correct opinion. Or the correct, well, it's correct opinion to me, but it's not the correct answer. If you disagree with any of the predictions I've just made, let me know. And if you are new around here, please consider liking and subscribing and checking out the other content on the channel. And as I said, I'll also be uploading the SummerSlam Night 2 predictions as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.